Hi, and welcome to Math 1460, which is Math for Business Analysis, the Flexpace version of the course. Or another name for it is the CBE version. I wanted to give a little introduction and show you where the material is for the course. Now, first, everything you'll need for the course is available in the eLearn course shell. Now, in the front is let's see, the announcements. Also important about for the FlexPace courses. Remember, first you must complete at least one graded assignment within the first 7 days of your course in order to establish attendance. If you don't, then you mark for non-attendance and you may be dropped from the course. So make sure again you complete a graded assignment, and I'll talk about that uh, in a little bit. And also, you must make regularly progress, even though there's no weekly due dates for the assignments for FlexPace ones, but there are these benchmark dates that you do need to meet. First, that 25% of the coursework must be submitted 1/4 of the way through the term, and we'll talk about what does it mean 25%. Then 50% of them must be submitted by the midpoint of the term, and then no more than 5 assignments may be submitted in the week prior to the finals week, and if applicable, final exam and/or projects must be submitted by Tuesday of the finals week. Okay, so there's that, and also you must pass each graded assignment with a score of 80% or higher. Math courses require 70%, just because, like, if you take any other FlexPace ones, let's say even for the test, they may allow you to redo them. We do not allow that for the math courses. Okay, so let's get started. So going in the content area. Now, first thing is, you won't see this Unit 1 folder at first. You got to go through the course overview material and then take this course overview survey, complete it with a score of 100%. It's a 10-question quiz. You have an unlimited number of attempts. So, yeah, and they're all multiple choice questions too. We're going through some of the basic information in there. So first, the syllabus. So this is again Math 1460. Now, required text. Now they do say the textbook is required, but the thing is, if you purchase the MyMathlab Access Kit, you don't really need to buy the physical textbook if you don't want to. If you're comfortable using an electronic version of the textbook, which you get with the MyMathlab Access Kit, then you don't need to buy the physical copy of the textbook. It's up to you. So I believe when you buy from the bookstore, that there are usually two options. One's to buy both the book bundled with the MyMathlab Access Kit. The other one is just the MyMathlab Access Kit by itself, which I believe is the cheaper of the two choices. You could choose which way you want to do it. Now, again, my name is Richard Uchida. I'm in the mathematics department. The best way to get a hold of me is by email, which is richard.uchida@sinclair.edu. There's my office phone number. But one thing is that um, I'm only teaching online, so that the best way is really to get a hold of me. Now, for my office hours are all virtual, and they'll be available Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday from 9:30 to 10:30. But also, I know not everybody can make it at those times for those days, so you could also see about another time on those days. You could just send me an email, say, hey, can you meet me on this time, and we could set up a Zoom appointment. Just give me a day or two notice ahead of time. And now here's some other basic information. We'll get to those pretty soon. The only thing, the tests, they will be all online, but they'll be using an online proctor system called Respondus Monitor. And for that, you will need a webcam. So if you do not have a webcam, either already in your laptop or a separate one, then you can, so you need one. And if you don't have the funds to purchase one, you can actually borrow one from Sinclair as well. I'll be sending out a link for a form that you fill out, and then you just go to the main campus and pick one up. And then other basic information. Okay, and let's see. This is about the course for the Flexpace. Again, the way this course will be set up. Okay, so there are 4 main units. So the first unit for the first 3 units, there's first a pre-assessment. Now, if you score a 90% or better on the pre-assessment, then for the first 3 of them, then you're exempt from the unit assignments and the post-assignments. Although if you want to get a higher score than what you got on the pre-assessment, then you can still do the assignments and the post-assessment to try to get a higher score as well. Now, if you do not score a 90% or better on the pre-assessment, you will complete all the activities in the unit, which includes all the assignments and the post-assessment. And then in order for subsequent units to open, you must achieve at least 70% on all graded assignments and the post-assignment. Or again, 90% or above on the pre-assessment. So that's the way the first 3 ones are set up. Now the 4th unit is different because that's attached to the final exam. But there is a pre-assessment for that. Now the pre-assessment, if you get a score 90% or better on that pre-assessment for unit 4, that'll just exempt you from the unit assignments. But you still everybody's got to take the final exam. So there's no being exempted from that because the final exam is comprehensive as well. But for that 4th unit, like I said, if you do score 90% or better on the pre-assessment for the 4th unit, then you are exempt from the assignments, but again, not the final exam. So like I said, all students must take the final exam. And then one thing about the post-assessments, again, you only have 1 attempt for those post-assessments, just like you only have 1 attempt for the pre-assessments as well. Okay, there's just some basic information. Again, for the post and pre-assessments, there's only 1 attempt for each one. So yeah. Now, I'll skip this one for now and I'll get back to, actually no, let me go over it now. We use the online homework tool MyMathlab for this course. But now if you've used MyMathlab at other math courses through Sinclair, we do it a little differently for this one. We have it integrated in the eLearn course, so you don't actually ever go to MyMathlab separately, except through the links that we put in the course. And now one thing when it comes to the registering for the course, which is what you'll do when you click on this, and it'll start you up through the registration process. Now on the directions that may come with your access kit, they'll say that I send you a course ID. And no, I won't, because with it being integrated within the eLearn course, you won't need that course ID. There is no course ID. That when you click on this link, it knows the course ID for it. So you'll go through the process. It won't even ask you for a course ID. It will ask you first, I think, if you already have a MyMathlab account, then you could enter your username and password. If not, create your own one. And then it'll ask you to think about for the ways for purchasing the access. Now, if you purchase the access kit from the bookstore, it'll include an access code, so you would enter that access code. The second option is you could purchase the access directly from the website. You could use a credit card or PayPal. I'm not sure about which one's cheaper, and I'll leave it up to you which ones you guys decide to do. Now, one thing, if you do use your financial aid for purchasing your books, then I believe you do have to get it through the bookstore to use that financial aid. And then the third thing is if you don't have the funds right away, or you want to see for like, let's say a week, see how this course goes, you can use MyMathlab's free 14-day temporary access. So even if you don't have, like I said, the access kit or the money right away, you can use that free temporary access to start working on the assignments right away. So there is no excuse to not get it a graded assignment done by the that 7-day period. Okay, now let's see, there's this welcome from the instructor. That's just some information about me. And now let's see another thing. Well, first let's go to the grading information. Now again, the exams are worth, let's say, it's okay, interesting to figure out how the grades are determined. Let's say if you don't score 90% or above on a unit pre-assessment, then the Unit 1 assignments, those are worth 5% of the grade, and then the post-assessment is worth 20% because there's like this says these exams are 80% and there's 4 of them. So each exam post-assessment would be worth that 20%. But now let's say if you do score 90% or above, then that pre-assessment score is actually the 25%. It's the score from all of the assignments and that post-assessment. So those are the 2 ways you could get scores for those first 3 units. It's either if you get the 90% or above, then whatever score you get of that is of that 25% of that unit. And if you don't, then again, your score is based on your Unit 1 assignments, where those are 5% of it, and then the post-assessment is at 20%. Now, again, when it comes to the final exam, the Unit 4, again, those Unit 4 assignments is worth 5%, so that Unit 4 pre-assessment is worth only that 5% compared to the 25% for those other ones, because again, all it does is allow you to be exempted from doing those Unit 4 assignments. But once again, everybody has to take the final exam. And then the grading scale 90, 80, 70 for ABC. D is 60 to 69%, but that does mean you're ineligible to take any more Flexpace courses. And same thing, an F is for 60% or below 60%. So that's how grades are determined. Now for the course requirements, this just tells you what is the material for each unit. So you see Unit 1, again, there's first the pre-assessment. Then these are the sections for the units, for the sections for that unit. So 6.1, 6.2, 6.3, then 2.2, 2.3, 2.4, 7.1, 7.2, 7.3. So that's what Unit 1 covers, which is like systems of equations, stuff with linear equations, linear models, some basic linear inequalities, and then linear programming. And then the second assessment, our second unit, is very different. It's all over what you may have seen before in more traditional math courses, which is functions, like functions, linear functions, quadratic functions, polynomial functions, rational functions. And one thing I should note. Okay, so what we meant by that 25% milestone, that's by completing all of Unit 1. Okay, completing all of Unit 2, that's a 50% milestone. Completing all of Unit 3, that's the 75% milestone. And then Unit 4, which is these sections plus the final exam, that's the final to complete the course. So that's what's in each unit of the topics covered in each unit. Now, let's go about how you actually do the stuff. Now, like I said, first you'll start off in Unit 1. And again, for this to show up, once again, you do have to get that 100% on this course overview survey. But once you do that, then Unit 1 will become available. So just like we said before, first thing you do, complete the Unit 1 pre-assessment. And again, if you score 90% above, then you're exempt from doing the Unit 1 assignments and post-assessment. Or again, you can choose to do those if you wish to improve your score. Like if you got a 90%, but you wanted like 95 or higher or something like that, then you can still do these other activities. So if you don't score 90%, or better, then what you got to do is the MyMathlab assignments for sections, all those sections. You got to do the worksheets for all those sections, and then you got to do the post-assessment. So here's the link for the pre-assessment. Now, it is a proctored assessment, so you will need your webcam and you'll need to download the um, lockdown browser, and you'll go through that as soon as you click on this Unit 1 pre-assessment. It'll go through the process of downloading that lockdown browser. And then, because with that lockdown browser, once you start the exam, you cannot access any other things on your computer because you can't access any other websites or anything like that. And then you'll have 90 minutes to complete the 14-question pre-assessment exam. And one thing, make sure that you have your ID ready to show the webcam, okay? Because I need to verify that you are the one taking the test. If you don't do that, then you won't get credit. So make sure again you have your school ID, or you could also have your driver's license. You could cover the information except for your name if you're worried about showing too much information. But I need to see your name and your picture of your face. And then, so yeah, then you'll take the pre-assessment. Now, once again, as we said before, we've got the 90% or above. Then you can skip all of this other stuff. Like this is for section 6.1, 6.2, 6.3, and the unit 2 will be opened up for you. But if you don't, then you got again do these. One thing, if you wanted to review a little bit beforehand, you can look at the textbook, because this link here takes you to the ebook version of the textbook. A little slow, but you could, and it always takes you to the beginning of chapter 1. But you could go, like I said, the first sections are chapter 6. So you could review through, okay, see what is chapter 6. We do 6.1 to 6.3, then we do 2.2 through 2.4, and then we do 7.1 through 7.3, sorry. So you could review those ahead of time if you wanted to before you take the pre-assessment, so you have an idea of what's on those sections. But then, like I said, if you didn't, then what you do is you do for each section, you read the introduction objectives, read the section in the textbook. There's some additional optional learning material if you still need any more instruction. And then here begins the MyMathlab assignments, where you do first these lesson assignments in order, which are, let's click on it. You'll see this takes you to the MyMathlab assignments, and what they usually consist of is a video and a problem or two to do. The videos are short, so you'll watch the video and then you'll do the problem, and it'll be related to the video you just watched. So you do that for all of those lessons. Then you do the homework. And with the homework assignments, let's just click on that. So you see in this case are like 12 assignments. So there'll be 12 problems for you to do. One thing to note, you must score at least a 90% on the homework before you could begin the quiz. So that means like, yeah, you got to score at least a 90%. Now when you're doing the homework problems, there are these help features also available. Oh, they changed this. They keep, let's see, is it? Oops, that's not that. Sorry about this. They've changed this again, and I hate it. It's like, no, that's not that. Oh wait, they put it down here. There's this help me solve this, view an example, get more help. So these, like they say, help me solve this, like they'll go step by step showing you how to do this type of problem, and then you'll do one like yourself. There's also view an example, which is seeing one similar to it, but not the same thing. And then if you still need help after those, there's also a video link. There's also a link to the textbook. There's also for this Ask My Instructor, that if you're still, after you do all of these other help features and you still have questions about it, you could click on this Ask My Instructor, and what you'll be able to do is send me an email saying, hey, can you help me with this? And you could give me any other information. But it also will include um, a link for the exact problem you're working on, so I can see exactly the exact problem you're working on, because not everybody's numbers are the same when they're doing the homework assignments. So, so yeah. Now, but when it comes to the quizzes, there aren't any of those help features. The quizzes are also timed, and you have a limited number of attempts for those. So, make sure you're ready for the quizzes before you do you start them. Okay, so that's the MyMathlab assignments, and then after you've done those, then there's a worksheet for each section. So you click on here, here's the assignment Dropbox where the worksheet is available. So you just open that, it's like a PDF file. Now you could either, if you have a program where you could write on the file, that's fine. Like Adobe Acrobat, or some students I would save it in Word and do the work on directly like on the computer. You could also print it off and do your work on that. Or you could also, some students just on a separate piece of paper, neatly organized, write their work and their answers um, and turn those in. And the way you turn those is I recommend an app called Genius Scan, GENIUS SCAN. It's an app that's available for both iPhones and Androids, where you, when you're in the app, you take pictures of your work and you save it as a single PDF file, and then you'll upload those here. Like, so that's how you'll upload the work for the worksheets. So you do that for each section, and then once you complete all the sections, then you can take the post assessment. So you'll click on here, take the post assessment, and so it'll be similar to the pre-assessment. Like again with the lockdown browser using the webcam. But now with the post assessments, that we also, you can turn in your work for possible partial credit. So, so you are required to turn in your work for those. And again, it's the same way as you did with the worksheets. Like, do your work neatly organized, so you can tell where's problem 1, problem 2, problem 3, and so on. Save those as a PDF file and submit them in the Dropbox. Do that immediately after you do your post assessment. And then once you've done that, and it's graded, and then Unit 2 will open up, and you'll do the same thing for Unit 2, then Unit 3, and so on. So, and now to see your grades, you click on this grades. Now, one thing is, again, if you are successful with the pre-assessment, getting 90% or above, and then you start working on the Unit 2, I got to do a little changing of the settings for individual students because it determine what your grade is based on. So, but yeah, and then also with the worksheets, if you want to see any annotated notes I put on your worksheets after when I grade them, that you just click on the progress, click on assignments, and then you'll be able to see the links for the annotated versions of the worksheets after I've graded them. Anyway, so that's the way this course is run. So if you have any questions, do not be afraid to email me. Do not be afraid to like either attend my office hours or set up an appointment for meeting me at another time. And I hope you all have a successful semester. One thing again, you must meet those milestone deadlines. And I really recommend do not wait to the last minute for this. If, as you've seen, like if you don't get that 90% or above on the pre-assessment, you see there is a good amount of work you got to do for each unit. So like I said, do not just think, oh, I'll just wait till the few days before that deadline. That does not work for students, okay? Uh, Yes, it could work if you're successful, get a 90% above on the pre-assessment, but you're given one attempt, so there's no guarantees about that. So anyway, I hope you all have a good semester, and I'll be talking to you later.